London Irish pick up 2 red cards as the Stormers pick up maximum points. My name is Mark. South Rugby. Both these teams were looking for a win for slightly different reasons. London Irish, in order to reignite their challenge and maybe give them a slim chance of going through, while the Stormers were looking to add a second win and put them in a decent position with a home game coming next week. So Stormers start strong. They get a penalty into the corner, set up the 5-meter maul. They're making progress and they're doing really well by switching the point of contact as well, kind of like rotating their maul almost, where they find a weak point in the defence, and it looked like they're going to go over, but Irish bring them down, but it was illegally. So Gonzalez gets himself a yellow card, 10 minutes in the bin, penalty try, and it's 7-0 to the Stormers. Then Stormers come on a decent attack. They spread the ball, get the ball out to Davids. He finishes the move off in the corner, but TMO check, we see that it is a forward pass, but then as we're watching replays, realize that just as the forward pass is given, there's actually a head-on-head tackle contact by Ben Loader for Irish. So there's completely no mitigation in it. He gets a red card. Irish down to 14 with about 60 minutes to go, something like that. So then Irish up against it. They're trying to play their way back into the game, looking to spread the ball and attack the line. But Nell reads a pass really well around the halfway line. He intercepts and he has a run straight in under the posts. That's converted, and we're 14-0 to Stormers at that point. And thinking, with a man down, like it really is going to be an uphill battle for Irish at that stage. Then Ngoma Zulu, he puts a lovely kick, Gruber kick through, and Hartenberg collects it, steps defender, and he goes over for the third try for the Stormers. That's converted, and we're at 21-0, and that's what the halftime score was. Halftime Irish probably would have been talking about, let's get out there and get some kind of response and maybe get ourselves on the board and start finding some way to work the way back into the game. But that kind of all goes out of the window in the first couple of minutes. So Stormers, first of all, start the half for them, to kick the ball out on the full, and Irish to get into a good position in the 22, looking to respond, as I said, and they're pretty close to the Stormers line, but then Parker comes from distance for a clear out. Basically the two, this is a red card as well, so the 2 red cards you saw in this game are basically the 2 things that we're seeing continuously in most of this year that you're almost guaranteed is going to be red. One is the head-on-head upright tackle that we saw in the first half. The second is this thing of coming from distance and then hitting the head, clearing someone out with your shoulder or arms to their head, and that's what he did. So he deserved his red card as well. London Irish then down to 13 at that point. And you tell at that point, the game is gone from the 21-0 down and the 2 men down. They're not going to be any serious threat really to the Stormers. But I would have expected the Stormers to really pull away and pile on the points the way, that a top team normally would. And normally it's the Stormers, so they are a top team. I would expect them to do that. But Irish is still trying to spread the ball. But the Stormers are, nailed it in the first half. They're getting in amongst them in the passing channel, and they're picking off their passes. So they get in there, force an error, and that's where the bonus point comes. The ball is stripped. There's a nice chip over the top, and Davids, he scores under the post this time, and that's converted, and we're at 28-0 at that point. And the Stormers, like, defensively, they're trying to smother London Irish, and it's working a lot for them. As I said, they're getting in there, but they are kind of on the edge, and they give away a penalty for not rolling away. So Irish go to the corner from the penalty. The Maul makes some decent ground, and the backs, they join in as well to add some extra weight, given that that they're already a man down in the forwards and one in the backs as well. That gets pulled down, and it's illegally, so it's a penalty try. Yellow card kicks off, and we're at 28-7. So at least some consolation there for London Irish. We then have a bit of a scuffle breaks out as kind of tempers boil over, but nothing really comes of it. Just referee warns two teams to settle down. Irish still trying, fair play to them, they're still trying to make something happen, but they are making errors and moves are breaking down from them. And Stormers win another penalty. They go for a line out, but they actually take too long for the line out. They have one of these conferences, and then they walk in, and then there's another conference, and referee just isn't standing for it. So he free kicks them. They do charge down the free kick though, but the ball goes dead. And then Irish then are able to clear from the 22 dropout. But at this stage then we're seeing errors creeping into the Stormers game as well. And the game is getting a little bit scrappy as the two teams are making mistakes. Stormers, they get pinged for crossing in the midfield, and Irish go up the line from the penalty, but then on their line out they're not straight, so they give the ball back to the Stormers, and Stormers then, from the resulting scrum, they push early, so they then give the free kick back to Irish and actually give them another chance. So they go pretty close to the line, but Diamani, he gets in with a great tackle and strips the ball, and that allows him to clear. But something that we see on the replay then is, so the Stormers win the ball, they put the guys in kind of like a little caterpillar just on their own line, and as they're moving the ball back, the ball is sitting on the try line, and then it's who was it? Smith, I think, is it, the scrum half for Irish? But he comes in and puts his hand on the ball and feels like he scored a try, but the referee doesn't notice it, and Stormers are able to clear at that stage. And if they'd scored the try, I'm not saying they would have come back and won the game round two. I don't think that would have happened. But they certainly would have, or possibly could have gotten themselves a losing bonus point. But it wasn't spotted, so no try for them. Stormers are able to clear the pressure, and then Stormers then just absolutely destroy the Irish scrum. Now the Irish scrum, they're obviously down a man in the scrum as well, but the Stormers just walk through them, but that's the only real area we see the Stormers at this stage dominating the game. They're not really taking advantage of the two extra men that they have on the pitch, and Irish are just kind of hanging on in there. They get another penalty, and they go into the corner with that one, and initially halted trying to go to the mall, but they do go through the phases. And Fischetti, he gets over. He shows really great power to get over there. That one is converted, and we're 28-14. There isn't that much long left, so it's still no real danger for the Stormers in terms of the result itself. Stormers do almost add a fifth through Nell, but so basically, they work themselves on overlap, and he goes in the corner on the left hand side. But as he's placing the ball, he drops it, and it's a very clear drop, very clear separation with the ball. So no try there. We do have a Timo check just to be sure. Then Hartzenberg then almost gets to a dink through as well with the final play, but it beats him into touch. It's one of these where it's kicked, at an angle just this side of the try line near the flag, but the bounce just takes it out of his grasp and out of play, and that's how we end. Final score is 28-14 to the Stormers. London Irish did well for a team with 2 red cards, I have to say, and they didn't put their heads down and didn't go up, and still tried to play a bit of rugby as well. Stormers, I said, never really in danger once they built that 21-0 lead, but they just couldn't stretch away in the second half when you probably felt that they should have. But now they've got probably knockout rugby to look forward to, so they're definitely the happier of the two teams.